going a bit deeper about food and food insecurity, you were in the foster care system as a child, and spent time in shelters. How did your perspective impact how did that experience impact your perspective on hunger and how hunger is discussed in the world?
I mean, it's just the language that we use. I could start there. We say terms, right? Like food access, food insecurity, food deserts, food swamps. We gotta just call it hunger because that's what it is. There are people going to bed hungry, right? In one way or another, that's what it is. So I think we, in the United States especially, we kind of treat hunger like it's this temporary emergency. Like people are only hungry for a bit until they're not anymore. It's like, for people that experience hunger as children, if you are under the age of 5 and you experience hunger, you have a 75% more chance of experiencing it as an adult, right? So like this doesn't just go away, like 1 in 7 people do not have enough food to eat in the United States. This is not just like some temporary thing. And I
Mm,
can say that with such passion because I actually experienced it. And I think hunger also, it's just really explaining it to people. Like get anecdotal. When we say hunger, we say I have to decide, do I pay rent or do I buy food for family? Right? Like, really need to sit down and explain that to people. I also feel like just because you might not be impacted by food insecurity doesn't mean you're not impacted by food insecurity. Do you know what I mean? Because there are like, you might not experience actual hunger, right? Actually, but you might experience the impact of that in one way or another. At the end of the day, these are systematic and systemic issues that require incredible shifts and not just agriculture and not just how we go about food, right? Not just like, do you get your food from a grocery store or do you get it from the farmer's market or do you actually live on a farm? Like, sure, those are issues, but it's also about distribution. It's also about education. It's also about housing. It's also about healthcare, right? There are so many things tied up into this. So, yeah, you might not experience hunger in your life, but you have probably experienced A through Z other things that I mentioned: lack of transportation, lack of childcare, right? Lack of access to healthcare, right? Lack of education, etc. They're all connected systematically.